The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, good morning, everyone. This is Josh LeMaster, and I'm the co-founder and chief financial officer of Perfect Golf Event. I'm going to be introducing Eric Anderson here with Vortex Insurance in a minute, but let me, if you don't mind, cover a couple of housekeeping items and give you a little quick introduction. So first of all, everything you see today, recording, that will also be shared as a handout and a link that you can share it with your committee members and others that might want to get involved. And we'll send out an email maybe about 30, 45 minutes after this with all those attachments for you. That'll have my contact information and Eric Anderson's contact information. We're happy to help you with any questions. During the presentation, you might see some tools on your dashboard where you can raise your hand or chat. I'll reach out to everybody by chat in a second here, just so you know that that's up and going. And feel free to jump in with any questions that, anything that we don't answer. Going to try and, Eric will probably spend about 20 minutes. We'll leave some time at the end to answer any of your questions that have come in by chat or through a direct message to me, and I'll make sure we cover that. If we don't, we'll certainly get back to you, by email or phone afterwards. And all that said, just a quick introduction. We're in our third year of a great relationship with Vortex Insurance, and how this came about is as we looked at our events and where they were at risk and what things were keeping them from meeting their fundraising goals, one of the things was the risk of rain. We know weather, but rain specifically was an issue. And a lot of our events had considered event cancellation insurance and didn't find that to be anything that was really manageable for an event of their type. So there is a place for event cancellation insurance, but for a lot of our events that needed, a little bit more economical and easy to work with way to protect their event from rain, we thought Vortex has the best product in the business for that. So we have been introducing Vortex for a long time now, but then this year we even took that to another step. And with all of our events that are on one of our upgraded packages, starting with Eagle, we actually include some rain insurance with that package. So if you're a Perfect Golf Event user now, if you're not, and if you're considering holding an event, you might want to consider Perfect Golf Event and the things that we might be able to do to help you market and accept registrations and do all the things you need to run your event. So with that, quick-winded introduction. Appreciate everybody taking the time. And Eric, why don't you take it away?
Josh, thank you so much for the introduction. Welcome, everyone. We've got a big group this morning. Very excited to meet everyone and share with everyone the information about Vortex Weather Insurance and what we provide. We're several years in a relationship with Josh, Perfect Golf Event, and his team. We're super thrilled. And like he shared about us, we think that they're the best in the business. So this is webinar number 5 of the year. I'm going to basically walk through the product in 20 minutes, followed by a little Q&A. And then, like Josh said, you're going to receive this recording and the PDF. So you can hold your questions until the end, and then hopefully I can meet all of you through email, call, text, whichever works best for you, and ultimately price up your tournament. So with that being said, through the presentation, I'd like you to think about whether you're a first-time organizer or you've been doing this for 20 years, the potential of rain and the effect that it can have on your golf tournament and your expected revenue, your goals, okay, of what you're trying to achieve, whether it's a small amount your first year or a large amount. We can help you set up the parameters where you're protected against what rain can potentially do. So with that being said, welcome everyone. Would like to start out saying, don't let bad weather slice into your club's bottom line. You can't predict the weather, but you can help protect your business from it. And here's a myth that insurance agencies don't know weather. Turns out we are weather nerds. Our team has over 100 years of combined experience in the weather risk management industry, and we've been helping protect events since 2008 using data-driven policies that mitigate risk. A little bit about us. We are a subsidiary of MSI Guaranteed Weather, which has been in the weather risk management industry for more than a quarter of a century. And since 2008, Vortex Weather Insurance has specialized in insurance products for outdoor events, fairs and festivals and concerts, jumpy castles, lacrosse tournaments, weddings, galas. And then in 2019, we started offering protection for golf properties, golf tournaments, member guests, members, charities, memorials, all the kinds of fundraisers that you can think of. Because we thought, why isn't there, more of a need out there? And then we finally figured out that the pricing wasn't where it needed to be. So we created a product where the pricing is very negotiable and affordable to help protect your event. We get asked this question every single day. Vortex, our carrier, is our owner, Mitsui Sumitomo, and we are rated A+ by AM Best. Here's a picture of me. I've been the director of sales since 2019. I've been trading and brokering weathers, derivatives, future swaps, and options for over 20 years. I was the broker for Guaranteed Weather, so I did all of their trades worldwide. Before that, I played golf professionally. I worked at Augusta National, where the Masters is next week. So I've been around the game a very long time. I still am. I've helped played in a lot of tournaments. I've helped run a lot of tournaments. So I can help you understand the metrics of your golf tournament and then help you really get to a number that you want to protect. And then we can work together in finding what the sweet spot is so you're properly covered. Okay, so here's a myth. In the golf business, you can't fight Mother Nature. We say not so fast. You can stand up to Mother Nature and help protect your revenue with Vortex. Across the country, savvy golf course operators and tournament organizers and directors are using rain insurance as a risk management hedge. And as a hedge, you want to think about all kinds of anticipated heavy play periods, whether it's a multi-day tournament. You can have a gala, pickleball is being coordinated with golf tournaments now, so a multi-day event sequence. You can do seasonal and monthly hedges, all kinds of Monday, Thursday golf outings. It doesn't matter what day it falls on. Holiday weekends, sometimes there's multiple days, say July 4th, Labor Day, Memorial Day kickoff, those kinds of things. And then you want to ask yourself, okay, when I'm really thinking about my event, what is at risk, okay? Within the play-related revenue, in all of these tournaments, whether it's a pro-am, a member guest, a corporate outing, a fundraiser, okay, the food, beverage, and merchandise revenue within the tournaments, alcohol, demo days, within your different kinds of charity or memorials or fundraisers, what goes into that? It's the on-course participation, okay? It's the raffle, it's the drone drops, it's the closest to the hole, it's the long drive, it's paying for extra golf balls while you're on there to get hopefully a lower score on a hole. All of it's going towards X, and the X is the revenue number that you're trying to hit, okay? So there's an equation for every golf tournament that's different, but it basically equals your expected revenue to donate towards your event. Okay, so this is a very important slide, rain insurance versus property and casualty insurance. And the chance of sustaining an adverse rain occurrence for a golf event is significantly greater compared to traditional P&C events, okay? So here's the chance of a potential insurance claim on just a single day over a 20-year period for car insurance and home insurance, right? Very low. So if you look at this map, okay, rain insurance versus P&C, as a comparison, here's the chance of just 1/4 of an inch of rain falling on any single day between June and August. Significantly greater, okay? That's the meat of the year. But if you look at the spring and the fall, obviously it's not as much, but it's still pretty heavy compared to traditional P&C. Okay, so here's a myth. Rain insurance is complex, and the good news is we've worked really hard to make it simple. And this is ultimately how it works. Rain insurance is parametric. What does that word mean? That means that rain insurance is triggered simply if recorded rainfall at your location meets or exceeds the threshold listed in the policy during the coverage period. So proof of loss, very important to understand this, proof of loss or event cancellation is not necessary for the policy to trigger and pay a claim. So what does that mean? That means that after your event, we send you an hourly report from from WeatherWorks, who's our source, our claim determination company, in our recording company that we work with very closely. And they send us an hourly report that we look at, make sure the data is in fact in alignment, and then we send it to you, the customer, to show you the exact readout. You can play through the rain, so your event can trigger. So say if you bought 1/4 of an inch in a 5-hour policy, okay, it rained for the first 10 minutes, hit 1/4 of an inch, and then it's super sunny. Guess what? You're getting paid and you're going to have your event. So it's important to understand that, because when you're deciding on an inch threshold, okay, whether it's small or large, it can affect whether you have a payout or not. And I'll help you understand that when we get on a call or email, and I'll walk you through how it all works. Another benefit of parametric insurance is that it's very quick. It's usually mailed in less than 2 weeks. We just had a customer get a check in 4 days. Again, this isn't traditional P&C where you have an adjuster that they need to come out and look at the claim. Basically, we send you a report. If it's triggered in the policy, you're getting a check, and you can use the money for whatever you want. You don't have to put it towards certain things. You could say put 10,000 towards the caterer, or 20,000 towards this, etc. That's entirely up to you. You get the check, and it's up to you what you want to do with the money. Okay, so again, how does rain insurance work? Okay, we use WeatherWorks as our claim determination system. There's more detail on our website, and when I send you a PDF, it explains in detail how this works. Basically, there's recording methodology that comes right down on top of your property. So it's not in an airport that might be 5 or 10 miles away, and therefore, you might have basis risk in the reading. This methodology is right on top of your golf course. So through radar and several other methods, they provide the hourly printout that we provide for you. We have hourly precipitation measurements as little as 0.01. We start policies as little as 1/10 of an inch, which is good to understand, and I'll show you that when I price up your event. Okay, the policy options. Typically, there's shotgun coverage for our new beginners who are learning how events are run. On this call, that means that everyone is assigned a golf hole, say at noon. They all start at noon, and hopefully they finish up at 5 hours, not 6, 5 or lower. Usually the shotgun coverage is, say, 90% of our events that we write for. Sometimes we have double shotguns. We have an event in the morning, an event in the afternoon. On the very far right of the slide, ladder coverage is basically the more that it rains, the more that you're paid out. And I'm going to show you an example here in a second. The shotgun coverage is different, where you buy one threshold, and if it rains and it hits that threshold within the hours that you buy, you're paid. It's that simple. And then there's the extended hours coverage. So what I try to do is help customers understand that if you have a 12 o'clock shotgun, what happens if it rains from 10 until 12 and then it's sunny but the course is unplayable? If you didn't buy those hours, you're not covered. So every day I'm sharing this information with customers, saying, okay, I'd rather you have a few hours on the front end than the back end, because if everyone is at the golf tournament okay, and just say they get wet on the 15th, 16th, or 17th hole, they're already there, they're spending money, they're playing golf, and they're usually going to go inside and have cocktails and hopefully get to the silent auction and the meal and have fun and spend money. So if there's a registration, if there's a putting contest, if there's a little lunch or a breakfast, usually if people are not covered, that could pull away from the overall, the target of what you're trying to achieve. Now, if it starts raining at, say, 10 o'clock in that example, and you lose 20 people because they say, you know what, I'm just going to play next year. I don't want to play in the rain. What's that cost if you had a few hours additionally on your policy versus not having it? Because if those 20 or 30 people that didn't come were at the golf course spending money on the course, at the auction, at the lunch or dinner, what's that worth to you? Usually for the amount of money that you're adding on for the hours, it's most of the time worth it. So, and I'll help you and I'll show you the difference of adding hours and how that affects your premium. Okay. So the hours, the different kinds of options that affect your policy. The hours, the more hours, the more expensive. The lower the threshold, it's going to be more expensive than, say, a higher threshold because of the probability of it raining that amount. The limits can change per day if it's a multi-day event. But I usually show people whether you're trying to raise 20,000, I'll show you what 10,000 looks like, 30,000, and the costs of the premium, how it goes up and down, so you're properly covered. Okay. So the use of hourly data allows us to concentrate only on the hours of rainfall could negatively impact business operations. As I just mentioned, having a few hours on the front end, I think, is very smart. I was talking to a woman just recently where she had a 9 o'clock shotgun, but her agreement with the golf course says that, and everyone's different. Just say everybody gets to play through 9 holes, and then it starts to pour and they have to close the golf course because it's unplayable. It depends on the language that you have. So what she did, she ended up buying a policy starting at 3 in the morning and stopped it at 11 instead of, say, 7 to 1 or 2 o'clock. So because of what we're describing, if it starts raining all through the night and then as the shotgun starts, the course is unplayable, she would have been covered. So it's something I'd like to share with all of the customers so they can think the right way. And I can help you price it when we get on the call and explain this to you in greater detail. Okay, so here's a grid right here in Ponte Vedra Beach. I'm in Northeast Florida. And this is just the hourly data back in 2019 in July. Obviously, it rains, as you can see, more often in the afternoon here. It rains a lot here in the summertime. But this is something where you can see that if they bought, say, 1/4 of an inch as a policy on those days in those hours, they would have had a lot of payouts here. Okay, the myth that rain insurance is too expensive. In reality, our team works for you to create a policy that fits your needs and budget. Again, I can help you take hours off, add hours at the appropriate times, and find the right thresholds so we can meet the budget. I won't ask you what you're looking to spend. I'm more concerned about the hours you need to cover, the amount you need to cover, and then I'll share with you the different thresholds, and then you can decide the amounts that you want to spend. Okay, the different factors that go into the equations of geographic location. Obviously, it rains here more in Florida than it does in Arizona, so it's going to be more expensive. The season here in the summer months is going to be more expensive than the winter. I think we all understand that. Time of day, like I was just showing, the afternoon it rains more than it does in the morning. And the longer the duration of the risk period is going to be more expensive. 6 hours is going to be more than 3 hours. Okay, a sample quote here in February from 10 to 3, just on $10,000 down at PJ National. If it were to rain 1/5 of an inch as an aggregate, so it doesn't matter when the rain comes. If it rains at 10:01 and it's beautiful until 2:59, as long as that total equals 0.2 or higher, you're getting a check for $10,000. in less than 2 weeks. The cost of this particular event was $420. Obviously, if you go a little bit higher, 0.33, the cost is lower because the probability is lower that it's going to rain that much. I think we all understand that. So this is our traditional insurance here. Here's our ladder insurance, which means the more that it rains, the more that you're paid out. If it were to rain through 0.20 and not touch 0.33, you would get paid $15,000. If it were to rain through 0.33 and not touch 0.5, you'd get paid 15 plus the 45, so you get 60,000. And then obviously, if it were to rain through the half-an-inch mark, you'd get the full $150,000. And for this particular policy here in Ponte Vedra Beach in February a few years ago, the cost to cover in the ladder approach, $150,000 of limit, was just over $3,400. Here's a member guest. We're a course in South Carolina. They had different coverage periods, so the hours changed per day. The threshold stayed the same, and to cover each day, it cost them $1,640. So again, I'm just showing this as an example for the folks on the call that might have multi-day tournaments or something into a gala or pickleball event as well. Here's a very satisfied customer. We've done a lot of deals over the years with Pinnacle. They bought a policy for less than $700. It rained. They got the money really quickly. He did have a rain date, and they turned around and bought a policy for the rain date as well. Here's some of our relationships. Several professional golf association sections across the country have bought and continue to buy from us. They've had a lot of payouts over the years. I've done a lot of NFL alumni charity events through PGA Magazine. On the PGA Tour side, Travelers up in Connecticut, they're a repeat customer. We just did our 3rd year with them. They had a 6-figure 2-day payout last year. And then the Dicks, they're about to do their 4th year with us. They had a 6-figure payout as well before Luke Bryan went on for his concert. They buy late afternoon protection. We just did another Folds of Honor deal with the Eastern Carolina section. We do a lot of deals with them. Buffalo Group does all of our marketing, and obviously Perfect Golf Event, they're best in the business. So here's a few more of our happy customers with some of our testimonials, and we have a lot on our website as well. So if you'd ever want to talk to some of our customers to talk about us, you can look at YouTube and look at our commercials and read a little and watch a little bit more about us. We hope you do that. So as I conclude here, Josh, and we get to the last slide, I know you're going to be sending our presentation, but are there any questions from the group today?
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Yeah, I've had a couple of people message me directly. Let's focus first, if you can, Eric, on timing. Yeah, does it help to buy the coverage farther in advance, and when do they have to buy the coverage? I guess that's a couple of the questions.
Yep, great questions. So if I were to price up a deal today for your event in August, you have a 45-day lock on that price. After that price, we'd have to reprice it, or I can price it in that term. But we always encourage you to buy it in advance. The prices can go up or down. Typically, if it turns out to be a rainy season, the methodology usually will increase the price. It doesn't go up significantly. It can, but usually we always encourage folks to buy in advance. We do understand that a lot of events need to budget this and are working on sponsors and sometimes getting a sponsor to buy the weather insurance, and that's okay. The last drop dead day to buy the insurance and to bind via a credit card on our portal is 15 days. If that falls on a weekend, you have to do it on the Friday before. If you need to send a check or wire something, that has to be done several days in advance, so we get it no later than the 15th day. And that's so you can't cherry pick the forecast.
Thanks for that. I appreciate another message here. I see a number of Perfect Golf Event events on the call with us. This one is related to kind of after. Basically, they're asking how do they prove that they had a claim? is what they're asking.
Yep, great question. So unlike typical indemnity, we provide you don't have to provide anything to us from a claim determination, okay? We provide you an hourly readout that we get from WeatherWorks. And what it does is it shows you every hour, okay, the amount of rain through their methodology. And when I get to know everyone on the call, we have a PDF that explains exactly how the data is recorded. So within a few days, usually it's 4 or 5 days, we get the hourly printout. We look at it through our scientists and data analysts, and then we send it to you, and it shows you the exact amounts per hour within your policy. So you don't have to do anything. And if there is a claim, again, you're getting the check within less than 2 weeks.
All right. I think there's one other thing I'll actually cover offline with them because I recognize them. And I guess the last thing I would add is if you are a Perfect Golf Event website user and you're in the Eagle or above category, you're going to experience this because you're receiving $1,500 or so, maybe higher coverage on your event automatically. So you will receive a report a couple weeks after your event with notifying you if there were any rain and if you had a claim, and that all happens automatically. So nothing you need to do to put that in place. And I'm sure Eric would love to talk about if you'd like to do more than that. So Eric, so much appreciate your presentation. As always, very quick and informative. And if we missed anything, please reach out to us. You'll see our contact information on the screen right now, and also in the email you're going to get here just shortly. And Eric, I'll let you close it out. Thanks.
Josh, thanks so much. Again, large group today. I thank you for attending the 5th webinar of the year. I look forward to hearing from you. Please email me, text me, call me. I'd love to price up your event and just show you the many ways that we can help, whether it's for full coverage or partial coverage, get you protected so you don't lose any of that expected revenue from rain. So thanks again for attending, and I look forward to hearing from everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you all.